Question 1. What is the primary rule to follow regarding the condition of any firearm you handle? A. Assume it is unloaded until you have personally verified it. B. Assume it is loaded, even if you saw it unloaded. C. Only handle firearms you know are unloaded. D. Assume it is loaded only if the magazine is inserted. Answer: B. Assume it is loaded, even if you saw it unloaded. Explanation: the golden rule of firearms safety begins with treating every firearm as if it is loaded, regardless of its actual condition or what you have been told. This fundamental principle ensures you maintain a safety mindset at all times, preventing negligent discharges that can occur from assumptions. Always assume the firearm is loaded so you apply all safety rules consistently, like keeping your finger off the trigger and the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. Adopt this mindset every time you touch a firearm to build safe habits. Question 2. When should you place your finger on the trigger of a firearm? A. Only when aiming at the target. B. When you are ready to shoot and your sights are aligned on the target. C. As soon as you pick up the firearm. D. While dry firing for practice. Answer: B. When you are ready to shoot and your sights are aligned on the target. Explanation: the third universal safety rule emphasizes keeping your finger off the trigger until your sights are aligned on the target and you have made the decision to fire. Resting your finger on the trigger prematurely is a leading cause of accidental discharges, especially under stress or surprise. Keep your trigger finger straight along the frame of the firearm, outside the trigger guard, until you are truly ready to shoot to prevent unintended firing. Training your finger to stay off the trigger until the precise moment of firing is crucial for safety. Question 3. What is the safest direction to point the muzzle of a firearm when handling it? A. Towards the ceiling or sky. B. Towards the ground or a sturdy backstop. C. Towards a safe person who is assisting you. D. Towards an open window or door. Answer: B. Towards the ground or a sturdy backstop. Explanation: the most critical safety rule, often considered the first, is to always control where the muzzle is pointed. A safe direction means pointing the firearm's muzzle so that if it were to accidentally fire, no injury or major property damage would occur. Pointing towards the ground or a substantial backstop ensures that a discharged bullet would be stopped safely, preventing harm to people or vital structures. Always be conscious of where your muzzle is pointing, as you cannot hit what the muzzle isn't aimed at. Question 4. When handling a firearm, you must be sure of your target and what is beyond it. Why is this rule important? A. To ensure you hit your intended target accurately. B. To prevent shooting innocent people or causing damage beyond the target. C. To determine the correct ammunition type for your firearm. D. To practice proper sight alignment techniques. Answer: B. To prevent shooting innocent people or causing damage beyond the target. Explanation: the fourth fundamental safety rule requires you to positively identify your target and understand what lies behind it. Bullets can travel significant distances and penetrate various materials, meaning an unintended shot could harm people or property far beyond your immediate target area. Before ever firing, confirm exactly what you are shooting at and ensure there is a safe backstop capable of stopping the bullet, as your responsibility extends to everything your bullet might strike. Always know your target and what is beyond it to prevent tragedy. Question 5. Before cleaning, storing, or handing a firearm to someone else, what is the essential first step? A. Apply lubrication to the moving parts. B. Verify the firearm is unloaded. C. Attach a locking device. D. Remove the sights. Answer: B. Verify the firearm is unloaded. Explanation: before performing any action with a firearm, such as cleaning, storing, or passing it to another person, you must first verify that it is unloaded. This involves removing the magazine, if applicable, opening the action, and visually and physically inspecting the chamber and magazine well to confirm no ammunition is present. Checking that the firearm is empty is a critical safety procedure to prevent accidental discharges during handling, maintenance, or transfer. Always perform a positive verification that the firearm is clear before proceeding. Question 6. What is recommended regarding the storage of firearms and ammunition in a home? A. They should always be stored loaded for quick access. B. They should be stored together but unloaded. C. They should ideally be stored separately and securely. D. Ammunition should be stored in plain sight for easy inventory. Answer: C. They should ideally be stored separately and securely. Explanation: safe storage is paramount, especially in homes with children or individuals who should not have unsupervised access to firearms. While California law requires firearms to be stored securely, best practice also recommends storing ammunition separately from firearms. This added layer of security makes it significantly more difficult for unauthorized individuals, particularly children, to load a firearm and potentially cause harm. Securely storing both firearms and ammunition, ideally in different locations, provides maximum protection. Question 7. If you are handed a firearm by someone, what should be your immediate action? A. Point it in a safe direction and verify it is unloaded. B. Hand it back quickly if you are unsure how to handle it. C. Point it towards the person who gave it to you to confirm they know it's unloaded. D. Test the trigger pull to see if it's heavy or light. Answer: A. Point it in a safe direction and verify it is unloaded. Explanation: when someone hands you a firearm, the first and most important safety steps are to immediately point the muzzle in a safe direction and then verify that the firearm is unloaded. Never accept a firearm as unloaded based solely on someone else's word. Always check it yourself using the standard procedure: remove magazine, cycle action, visually and physically inspect chamber and magazine well. Taking these steps ensures you assume responsibility for safety from the moment you take possession. Question 8. According to California law, who is legally responsible for keeping firearms safely stored in a home where children are present? A. The children's parents or guardians only. B. Anyone who owns or possesses a firearm in that home. C. Only the person who purchased the firearm. D. Only adults who have completed a firearm safety course. Answer: B. Anyone who owns or possesses a firearm in that home. Explanation: California law places legal responsibility for securing firearms to prevent access by children or other prohibited individuals on any person who owns or possesses a firearm in that home. This means everyone who has a firearm in the residence shares the legal obligation to ensure it is safely stored, typically using a locking device, in a locked container, or in a locked room, to prevent unauthorized access. Responsible ownership includes ensuring your firearms are inaccessible to those who should not handle them. Question 9. What should you do if a firearm fails to fire when you pull the trigger? A. Immediately open the action to see what's wrong. B. Point it in a safe direction and keep your finger off the trigger. C. Repeatedly pull the trigger until it fires. D. Hand it to someone else to examine. Answer: B. Point it in a safe direction and keep your finger off the trigger. Explanation: if a firearm fails to fire when the trigger is pulled, a malfunction, or misfire, you must immediately keep it pointed in a safe direction and keep your finger off the trigger. Sometimes there can be a delayed ignition, meaning the cartridge might still fire after a few seconds. Keeping it pointed safely ensures that if it does fire, the bullet goes into a harmless area, and keeping your finger off the trigger prevents further attempts until you assess the situation safely. Always maintain safe muzzle discipline and control when dealing with any firearm issue. Question 10. What is dry firing? A. Shooting a firearm without any ammunition in it. B. Cleaning a firearm using only patches, not solvents. C. Shooting a firearm in very dry weather conditions. D. Firing a firearm that is submerged in water. Answer: A. Shooting a firearm without any ammunition in it. Explanation: dry firing is the practice of pulling the trigger on an empty firearm, without any live ammunition or snap caps, typically for training purposes like practicing trigger control and sight alignment. While it can be a useful training tool, it is absolutely critical to double-check and triple-check that the firearm is completely unloaded before dry firing. Always verify the chamber and magazine are empty before beginning dry fire practice, and continue to point the muzzle in a safe direction even when unloaded. Question 11. When cleaning a firearm, what is the most important safety consideration? A. Using the correct cleaning solvent. B. Ensuring the firearm is unloaded and the action is open. C. Cleaning in a well-ventilated area. D. Wearing protective gloves. Answer: B. Ensuring the firearm is unloaded and the action is open. Explanation: before you begin cleaning any firearm, the single most critical safety step is to ensure it is completely unloaded and the action is open or disassembled to prevent any possibility of an accidental discharge. Verifying the firearm is empty removes the primary source of danger during handling and maintenance. Always confirm the firearm is clear by removing the magazine, opening the action, and inspecting the chamber and magazine well before starting the cleaning process. Question 12. What is a safe handling demonstration as required in California for firearm purchases? A. Showing you know how to shoot accurately at a range. B. Demonstrating the ability to safely load, unload, and secure the firearm you are purchasing. C. Proving you understand basic firearm safety rules. D. Firing 3 shots on target under supervision. Answer: B. Demonstrating the ability to safely load, unload, and secure the firearm you are purchasing. Explanation: as part of the firearm purchase process in California, you are required to perform a safe handling demonstration with the specific type of firearm you are buying. This demonstration, typically conducted by the licensed firearm dealer, involves showing you know how to safely load, unload, and apply a locking device to that particular firearm model. Successfully performing this demonstration confirms you possess basic operational knowledge for safe handling before taking possession. Question 13. When should a firearm locking device typically be used? A. Only when transporting the firearm in a vehicle. B. Any time the firearm is not in the immediate control of the owner. C. When the firearm is loaded and ready for use. D. Only when required by law for a specific type of firearm. Answer: B. Any time the firearm is not in the immediate control of the owner. Explanation: firearm locking devices, such as cable locks, trigger locks, or secure containers, should be used whenever a firearm is not under the direct, immediate control of the owner. This includes when the firearm is stored in the home, whether unloaded or loaded, though unloaded storage is recommended, to prevent unauthorized access, especially by children or prohibited individuals. Using a locking device whenever you are not actively using or carrying the firearm is a key component of responsible and safe storage. Question 14. What is the primary difference between a magazine and a chamber in a firearm? A. A magazine holds cartridges before they are loaded. The chamber holds a single cartridge ready to fire. B. A magazine is used in revolvers, a chamber is used in semi-automatic pistols. C. A magazine is where spent casings are ejected, the chamber holds live rounds. D. A magazine is located on the outside of the firearm, the chamber is inside the barrel. Answer: A. A magazine holds cartridges before they are loaded, the chamber holds a single cartridge ready to fire. Explanation: understanding the parts of your firearm is essential for safe handling, especially when verifying it's unloaded. The magazine is a device, often removable, that stores multiple cartridges ready to be fed into the firearm's action. The chamber is the part of the barrel where a single cartridge is seated, ready to be fired when the action is closed and the trigger is pulled. Always check both the magazine well, ensure magazine is removed, and the chamber, ensure it's empty, when clearing a firearm. Question 15. If you leave your firearm unsecured in your vehicle and it is stolen, what could be the legal consequence in California? A. There are no specific legal consequences if it was not loaded. B. You could face criminal penalties if the firearm is later used in a crime. C. You will only receive a warning from law enforcement. D. You might have to attend an additional safety course. Answer. B. You could face criminal penalties if the firearm is later used in a crime. Explanation. California law specifically addresses the negligent storage of firearms in vehicles. Leaving a firearm unsecured in a vehicle can lead to criminal penalties if it is stolen and subsequently used in the commission of a crime. This law emphasizes the importance of securing your firearm even when it is transported in a vehicle, often requiring it to be in a locked container or secured in a manner that prevents unauthorized access. Always secure your firearm properly, whether at home or in your car. Question 16. When is it permissible to leave a loaded firearm unattended in your home? A. If it is in a locked container. B. If you are only leaving the room for a moment. C. If it is hidden from view. D. It is generally not recommended, and specific laws may apply regarding security. Answer. D. It is generally not recommended, and specific laws may apply regarding security. Explanation. While California law allows storing a loaded firearm in your home if it's secured against access by minors and certain others, e.g., in a locked container, it is generally not recommended to leave any loaded firearm unattended, even if secured. Best practices encourage storing firearms unloaded and locked separately from ammunition when not in your immediate possession and control. Understanding the law and following best practices like locking firearms away when not actively supervised is crucial for preventing tragic accidents. Question 17. Which of the following is not a safe practice when handling firearms around other people? A. Keeping the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. B. Asking others if they are comfortable with firearms being present. C. Allowing someone to handle the firearm without checking if they are authorized and trained. D. Clearing the firearm in a safe location away from people. Answer. C. Allowing someone to handle the firearm without checking if they are authorized and trained. Explanation. It is your responsibility to ensure that anyone handling your firearm is authorized to do so by law and has the knowledge and training to handle it safely. Allowing an untrained or unauthorized person to handle a firearm poses a significant safety risk. Always confirm a person is legally permitted to possess a firearm and understand safe handling procedures before allowing them to touch yours. You are responsible for safety when your firearm is involved. Question 18. What is the purpose of a chamber flag or empty chamber indicator? A. To show the firearm is loaded and ready to fire. B. To indicate that the magazine is empty. C. To provide a visual and physical confirmation that the chamber is empty. D. To help align the sights on the target. Answer. C. To provide a visual and physical confirmation that the chamber is empty. Explanation. A chamber flag, or empty chamber indicator, is a small, brightly colored device inserted into the chamber of a firearm after it has been cleared and verified unloaded. It serves as a clear visual and physical signal that the chamber is empty and cannot hold a cartridge. Using a chamber flag is an excellent practice to visually communicate the safe condition of a firearm to everyone present, providing an extra layer of safety verification. Question 19. If you inherit a firearm in California, what steps must be taken to make the transfer legal? A. No steps are needed for inherited firearms. B. You must complete a transfer through a California licensed firearm dealer, FFL. C. You only need to notify the local police department. D. You must register the firearm with the state within 30 days. Answer. B. You must complete a transfer through a California licensed firearm dealer, FFL. Explanation. Even for inherited firearms, California law requires the transfer to be processed through a California licensed firearm dealer, FFL. The recipient must meet all eligibility requirements, including passing the Firearms Safety Certificate, FSC, exam and undergoing the background check process. This legal requirement ensures that firearms entering possession within the state are transferred to eligible individuals according to state law. Always handle firearm transfers, including inheritances, through the proper legal channels. Question 20. When participating in target practice, what is the minimum recommended eye protection? A. Regular prescription glasses. B. Sunglasses with UV protection. C. Safety glasses or shooting-specific eyewear. D. Any type of glasses to keep dust out. Answer. C. Safety glasses or shooting-specific eyewear. Explanation. Eye protection is absolutely essential anytime you are around live firing to protect your eyes from ejected cartridge casings, unburned powder, and potential ricochets. Standard prescription glasses or sunglasses often do not provide adequate sight protection or impact resistance. Always wear safety glasses or eyewear specifically designed for shooting that meets safety standards, such as ANSI Z87.1, to safeguard your vision during shooting activities. Protect your eyes, you only get one pair. Question 21. When participating in target practice, what is the minimum recommended hearing protection? A. Standard earplugs from a pharmacy. B. Earmuffs rated for industrial noise. C. Hearing protection specifically designed for shooting, earplugs or earmuffs. D. Wearing a thick hat pulled over your ears. Answer. C. Hearing protection specifically designed for shooting, earplugs or earmuffs. Explanation. Exposure to the sound of gunfire can cause immediate and permanent hearing damage. Hearing protection designed for shooting, either earplugs or earmuffs with a sufficient noise reduction rating, NRR, is mandatory when shooting. These types of protection are designed to reduce the concussive sound of gunshots to a safe level, preserving your hearing. Always wear appropriate hearing protection when at the range or anytime firearms are being discharged. Question 22. If you need to temporarily set down a firearm while handling it, what is the safest way to do so? A. Lay it down with the muzzle pointed towards the door. B. Lay it down with the action closed but the safety on. C. Lay it down with the action open, magazine removed, if applicable, and muzzle pointed in a safe direction. D. Lay it down carefully on a table or counter, trigger guard facing up. Answer. C. Lay it down with the action open, magazine removed, if applicable, and muzzle pointed in a safe direction. Explanation. If you must set down a firearm temporarily, the safest procedure is to first verify it is unloaded, remove magazine, open action, inspect chamber, keep the action open to show its unloaded status, and ensure the muzzle remains pointed in a safe direction. An open action visibly confirms the firearm is not ready to fire, and maintaining safe muzzle direction ensures that even if an error occurred, no one would be injured. Never lay down a firearm with the action closed unless it is securely stored. Question 23. Who should you consult if you are unsure about the safe operation or condition of a specific firearm? A. A friend who owns firearms. B. An employee at a general retail store. C. A qualified firearms instructor or experienced gunsmith. D. Online forums or social media groups. Answer. C. A qualified firearms instructor or experienced gunsmith. Explanation. If you are ever unsure about how to safely operate, maintain, or check the condition of a particular firearm model, it is essential to seek advice from a qualified expert. A certified firearms instructor can teach you proper handling techniques, and an experienced gunsmith can assess the firearm's mechanical condition. Relying on unqualified sources can lead to dangerous mistakes. Always consult trained professionals when you need expert guidance on firearms safety or function. Question 24. What is the legal age requirement to purchase a handgun in California? A. 18 years old. B. 21 years old. C. 25 years old. D. 16 years old with parental consent. Answer: B. 21 years old. Explanation: in California, you must be at least 21 years old to purchase a handgun. There are limited exceptions for law enforcement or military personnel, but for the general public, the minimum age is 21. This is a key requirement under state law that must be met, in addition to passing the FSC and background check, to legally acquire a handgun. Ensure you meet all age and eligibility requirements before attempting to purchase any firearm. Question 25. What does it mean to clear a firearm? A. To clean the barrel after shooting. B. To remove all ammunition from the firearm and verify it is unloaded. C. To remove any obstructions from the muzzle. D. To make the exterior of the firearm shine. Answer: B. To remove all ammunition from the firearm and verify it is unloaded. Explanation: clearing a firearm is the process of removing all ammunition and verifying that it is completely unloaded. This involves removing the magazine, if applicable, cycling the action, and visually and physically inspecting the chamber and magazine well to confirm they are empty. Clearing a firearm is the first and most important step before cleaning, storing, performing maintenance, or handing it to someone else, ensuring it cannot accidentally fire. Always clear a firearm every time you pick it up, even if you just set it down.